Alright, what up Adamsters? Welcome back to another Neverness to Everness video. Before we begin, we're on the road to 1,000 subs. So if you guys like, remember to like, subscribe, and turn those post notification bell. This was a pretty hard video to do. It was a pretty hard challenge. Main damage dealing Edgar versus Ride Assault. I'm going to be doing this for every character, every single boss. So first we're going to go through one boss with every character. We're going to go verse this guy, we're going to verse this guy with all our characters solo. See who finishes it faster. Obviously the set we're using on him is Cosmos damage plus 10% and ignores 25% of enemy's defense for 20 seconds. We got 4 dupes in him, so that's good. So it gives us some extra damage, and we just have a 4-star arc on him that just gives him attack and stuff. Now this challenge I have to play on level 1 because I know for a fact, that this guy, my team won't be able to go solo against the hardest difficulty that I can do right now. I know that. So for these, until I get like a maxed account and stuff, I'm not gonna be able to solo the max difficulty for these bosses with solo characters. But when I get more into the game, when I level up more, I will be doing that. We're on a road to one. I think I already said that. Yeah, it's whatever. When I say that it was so hard to beat him, I mean it was so hard to beat him. You have to get perfect dodges off. Because if you miss even one dodge, the thing is, if you miss one dodge, you're going to be missing out on damage. And in this, especially with using someone like Edgar, every second counts. His E skill is really good. It doesn't like let you get tossed around or anything. So you're doing consistent damage. And then his Q skill is really nice. It does close to like 3k damage. And then his dodge, when you dodge and then you punch and attack, that is also a very good chunk of damage as well. So that's why dodging with him when you're soloing this guy is very important. You get that heavy, nice chunk of damage. I did end up missing some dodges later on to the fight because I started messing up, but I was able to beat it. But I had 3 seconds left to beat this guy. And also, before we continue on with the video, let me know down below who you guys want me to do next between Adler or Mint. Let me know down below. You guys can choose which 4-star you want to see me do next against this Headless Rider 1v1. This is definitely going to be a fun little series to do because there's so many bosses and so many characters, and it's going to be fun to see which character can do it the fastest. That's based off that we can really see which characters are. Obviously, again, I'm going to be using even if they're a healer, I'm going to be using them as a main damage dealer just to see, how quickly can you beat the boss with like a healer as a main damage dealer and stuff. And he really showed me that yes you can. I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised we were actually able to even beat him. His E skill is very good as well because when this boss is doing that charged up attack to the 1 mega hit, you cancel it because of his E skill. So that's really good. And then he also does some nice damage when you actually have the enemy broken because of that the set I have on him. So that's really nice as well. Like he's hit, like look at that. He's basically hitting 1,000 consistently. That was almost or over. It was over 3,000, almost 4,000 damage there from all the ticks, which is kind of crazy considering this guy's a healer. I'm not saying it's like insane. Obviously build him as a healer, but pretty good damage for a healer. I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna skip some because this took every single second. Besides, I think I had like 2 or 3 seconds left at the ending, so that was pretty clutch. But you can see by the 2-point mark, we had him halfway or a little bit less than halfway. It wasn't really a solo if you think about it because we did get Skia to come in and he was, you know how a character comes in when you've taken too long to help you with this boss. We ended up getting Skia, but I'm not gonna lie, Skia was a massive help. I feel like if he was not in here, I wouldn't have one. But did you see that 3,000 tick damage right here from his ultimate? His ultimate does hit pretty decently hard. 3,579. That's a pretty decent number for a healer. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was surprised. His Q does hit hard, and then you have infinite healing and stuff. Even when I have him built as a main damage dealer, some of his heals are still close to 600. When I had him built as a healer, he was healing almost 1,000 per tick, which is crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna skip. I'm gonna skip. I know it's a long video, but you saw that, right? Watch, watch. Ready? 3,000 again. 3,000 again. So it's pretty consistent with these. Look, literally, that was 1 second away from losing. So that was super, super intense, super, super close. But it's definitely a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie, it is definitely a lot of fun. So let me know down below who should I use next again between Adler or Mint. And then next video we'll use someone else and someone else. But Edgar, surprised he was able to beat it. Obviously it took the whole time. We beat it by 1 second. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm excited to start this new type of series. I'm excited to use these other 4 stars soloing against these bosses. That is going to be pretty fun, and there's many characters we got, so we have to see which character can finish it the fastest, clear it. We have to see which character is obviously the strongest and stuff. I'm super excited, and I can't wait to do more characters. It's gonna be pretty hard doing it with Adler. Mint, I feel like is gonna be pretty easy, but Adler, since he's a shielder, he would be more on the harder side. But I do think he hits. Obviously, I think he's gonna hit harder than Edgar. Obviously, there's no way he doesn't. But yeah, peace out, hamsters. Take care.